Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Frozen Cups and Hot Chips. I'm your host, Terrell Dupree. Of course, you know we've been doing the Green Box segment, celebrating Camelot in a lot of nostalgic neighborhoods here in the Tidewater area. And we've been diving in, talking to a lot of our residents. Boo Brown had a chance to get with us at the football field. We're going to hope to get with some of the athletes. And of course, I was able to, on the holiday here, obtain one of the crown jewels of Camelot, Mr. King Robinson, in town for the 4th of July weekend. And King is here with the segment, and he's going to talk about it a little bit. But we're going to celebrate the barbers of Camelot. All of those exceptional barbers that had a chance to touch us up, put that nice little jewel on our crown all of those years. We're going to talk about playing Sega, hitting the basketball court. But let me stop talking. King, welcome. What brought you down this weekend?
Thank you. Came down for the long weekend, man, the holidays, see my mother celebrate the birthday of my triplet grandson's fifth birthday, which was on the 28th of June, but we celebrated it today. See my sisters and just to come home, man. Just to come home.
I see that young man playing a little ball up there. You get a little hands off, letting the coaches get a little bit more molding on them. Talk to me about how important it is as a parent. Real quick, off the subject of Camelot. You know me, Tidewater Terrell, always got to delve in. Talk to me about it real quick about as a parent with a young man playing sports and being hands off so he can get that tutelage from the coach.
Right. First of all, I have three sons, and I never forced them to play football. I played football, but I never forced them to play football because I seen so much of parents trying to mold their kids into something that they wanted to be. I always wanted my kids to be whatever they wanted to be so they could be happy and comfortable in life. But I have a 9-year-old named Christopher, and he plays AAU football. He was playing flag from the age 6 up until this year. This year's his initiation of tackle. He plays for an organization called PME, which is called Playmakers Elite up in Northern Virginia. Some people have heard of them. And it's interesting because, you know, you have to sit back and be dad instead of trying to, you know, critique the coach and trying to, you know, emphasize that your son has talent and he should be doing this or he should be doing that. He's fine with being coached. He's fine with not being the superstar on the team anymore because he's gone to another level. And I like his attitude and I like his sportsmanship. He could be on the bench, but if one of his players make a good play, he'll run out on the field and chest pump. So I'm looking at this from afar, and I'm just letting the coaches do their thing, man.
I just wanted to dive in real quick because I know you're out there sometime, and I always love to celebrate the fathers in particular who are always up there with their kids, sharing their lives out there. And it is important when you're having to not only have them get that training, but also be involved in it. So I just wanted to give you that quick shout out. Now, real quick, as we pivot, as a barber, we're going to some hallowed grounds in Camelot. Don's house, Don Gatlin to be exact, Mr. Don Gatlin. Rest in peace, Mr. Gatlin, and shout out to Mrs. Gatlin, Lynn Rodney, the whole family. We are going into the barber shop where we used to get cuts, where we used to sit and play NBA Live. We used to get waxed up in there on the Sega Genesis, or playing ping pong, as King told me a little earlier, or while you waited and you wanted to shoot a little ball with Lynn out there in that beautiful court that they had. You know, we're going to go back and talk to some of the barbers, understand maybe Troy. Shout out to Stan and Corey Lee, Walt and Bam,
Kevin.
George, Kevin, Kurt. If I'm forgetting some names, charge it to my head, not my heart. King, talk to me about one, being a barber in Camelot, but more importantly, before we even get into being a barber, when I say Camelot, what does it mean to you? Real always asks that real, you know what I mean?
Legacy. Camelot was where so many of us grew up, where so many of us became teenagers, where so many of us found ourselves, got our swag, kissed our first girl. Camelot was a great place to grow up for me. And hopefully, I can't speak for everybody else, but it's a great place to grow up for me. And I'm extra proud of my parents to have, had the abilities and to purchase a home in the mid 70s. We moved out there in 75, 76.
Okay.
So I was 5 years old.
Wow.
And my father was still in the Navy. He was a chief. And he ended up retiring in 76 after we moved into the house. I remember it was December, it was before Christmas, December 1976, that we moved out Camelot. So, yeah.
Well, here, the one more piece I want to jump on with that is, in Camelot, of course, you talked about growing up getting the swag. There was also something to being out in the community. When you say you were from Camelot, people always knew all the guys, all the girls, knew what side of Camelot you were from, what street you represented.
Right.
Now, as a barber, we never had to leave out of Camelot, whether it was 3C's or 7-Eleven or going to the drawbridge or restaurants or convenience stores, and in particular, getting our cut. We had some legendary barbers without Camelot, Lake Village, shout out Crescent Place, all that as well.
Right.
Talk to me about being a barber, how you got your stuff. Well, we ain't gonna go into too much detail because that's gonna be a part of we're gonna do a segment.
Right.
Troy is supposed to be showing up. We're gonna find out Troy. But some of the other barbers, and if not, one that can tell the whole Camelot story and dive a little deeper is King Robinson. So we're gonna talk your head off too much, but King, real quick, tell me about being a barber and what it was like here and what your impact is in Camelot.
Being a barber from out of Camelot, that was a prideful thing. That was like being a king, for real. The person that started it all was Mr. Don Gatlin, and the next person on that list was Corey Lee.
Say his name.
Please believe me.
Okay.
Corey Lee was the dude who could put all types of letters and words in your head, had you with a fresh fade, you know what I'm saying? And he actually went to school with us. Mr. Don Gatlin was already older and established. He had kids, he had a home, a good job, a wife. But Corey made it, he basically made it so that at a young age we could say, we can cut hair and we can make money and we can build off that. Corey Lee, I have to give it to him, man. He was the one.
I like it. We're gonna say something, just a little nugget, just something for you all. That's King Robinson. I'm Tidewater Terrell. This is Frozen Cups and Hot Chips, the Green Box segment celebrating Camelot, located in Chesapeake, Virginia. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time. So I've certainly got some legendary Camelot natives here, and we're going to sit down real quick and just take a little time to talk about what Camelot means to each and every one of you. Melissa?
Camelot is family. I love Camelot. Camelot is everything to me. It's just family to me. I can't say nothing else.
Everybody. Y'all move out there?
I don't know. I knew I was a little girl.
Right.
I think I was 3.
Okay.
And then my best friend that I met was Glenn Wilson.
Big Mike.
Yeah.
Big Mike,
and
what up?
Jamila Claude, and it's just, and then Shanina Thomas became my best friend too. Like, but it's just everybody. I just love everything about Camelot. We all stick together. We don't go against each other. We might argue and fuss, but that was young. We grown now. We family. We grew up, so we done lost a lot, and it brought us together. So yeah, Camelot is just, we all one. That's all I can say is I love Camelot. Yeah.
All right, my name is Wesley Evans. Moved out Camelot in '77.
Boy.
I don't even think our little video man was born then, but like I say, family means a lot.
Yeah.
Camelot is family.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of good guys out there.
Yeah.
I don't call names. Like I said, we lost a lot of good guys out there. And like I said, if we can get Camelot back the way it used to be, get these young bucks on the right track, hey, Camelot will be Camelot again. Right now, we're losing it though.
No doubt.
Losing that war.
That's a good point. I just want you to touch on that. What's going on out there?
Hey, life. It's just life.
New generation.
I can't
It's a
say,
new generation. They don't care.
Can't say Oh, cause I'm not young no more. Like I said, everybody has their own little fad, what they want to do in life, and
Yeah,
like I
they
said,
don't want to fight without this now. They want to fight with
Right.
guns.
Right.
yeah, I ain't bulletproof though.
Yeah.
I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
It was days you could get in a fight with some of your best friends on the block, man, and then the next day you was right back together.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But nobody life was threatened, or nobody parents got a knock at their door saying, yo, your son or your daughter is, what I'm saying, has perished or whatever.
That's a terrible feeling too.
It's just totally different now, man. You can see it. So we really need to support these youngins as much as we can, but at the same time, they're gonna have to learn how to receive that support from the elder statesmen or women.
That's a good point. And King, of course, again, we touched on it earlier during the barber segment. Some of the barbers that impacted our lives growing up out the neighborhood. And you talked about death, and we seeing it. These young boys spinning everywhere. King, as a barber, talk to me about what it feels like to have to cut the hair of a boy that's gonna be buried
Oh,
and make him look
wow.
presentable
Wow.
to his parents.
I've done it quite a few times. God rest my father, Mr. Charles Thomas Robinson, Chief Charles Thomas Robinson. He passed 2017, September the 12th. So I had to cut my father. I had to cut my first cousin. His name was Alfred Brown. Went by the name of Bubba, that was his nickname. I've cut clients, females and males, who have transitioned, and it's not really a good thing. No matter how they passed, whether it was from violence or being ill, or it's an experience that I can't explain, because I don't think everybody will be able to tap into it if they don't, cut hair and never went to a funeral home and worked with, the dead.
Don't want to make it too jury, but we're gonna ask the real, and we're trying to tap in because we all are experiencing it and we all go through it. So I just want to let you know we appreciate you sharing your slice of the beautiful Camelot pie with us. We got a lot more that we're doing, and thank y'all so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
Tidewater Terrell, and this is Frozen Cups
Camelot.
and,
Hey.
and Hot Chips.